So the holidays are upon us, and honestly they're pretty close because I've taken way too long to get this video out. But maybe you've got a Nintendo Switch, or you know somebody who has a Nintendo Switch and you want to get them a nice gift. Whatever the case is, the Nintendo Switch is really nice, but it could use some accessories. And so I wanted to go through some of my favorites that I've been using on and off, some of which I've talked about in the past, others of which I have not talked about yet. And the best part about all of these items is they're available year-round, so even if you're watching this after the holidays, you can still buy these things. Isn't that great? And we're starting off with something new. These are the Hori Split Pad Compacts from Hori. One of the more popular Joy-Con alternatives you can buy is the Hori Split Pad Pro. Those are, for some people, maybe a little bit big, or maybe you just want something a little more compact to take with you on the go. Thankfully, that's why Hori came out with the Hori Split Pad Compact. They're available for $49.99. It's going to be a little bit bigger and a little bit bulkier than the regular Joy-Con, but it's going to be just enough to fit in your hand, a lot more comfortable than the Joy-Con does on its own. The buttons are really nice and comfortable, super responsive, and the D-pad itself is actually pretty nice. The sticks also feel really good and easy to use, easy to click in, and honestly, it looks pretty nice. It launched with a couple of different colors. I believe Hori is coming out with some other designs. This is my personal favorite, which is the white and yellow. It's the first one that I saw, and I think it still looks really nice with the OLED switch. There's no external power and no way to use these wirelessly. You have to connect them to the Switch and use them in handheld mode only. These are great if you want a handheld experience with a D-pad for things like 2D platformers. I've heard this D-pad is not great for fighting games if you play fighting games with a D-pad. I personally don't play that many fighting games, and I usually use a thumbstick. Neither these nor the Split Pad Pro have any kind of rumble, and they don't have motion control or NFC. What is neat is it actually has a turbo function for each side, and it even has a programmable button in the back for a shortcut that you can assign to any of the buttons that are on the controller itself. These are great for smaller hands, or if you do have bigger hands and you want something just a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more ergonomic than the standard Joy-Cons, I definitely recommend checking these out. If you want to check out these or the Pros, I will have both linked in the description, and in fact I'm going to have everything in this video linked in the description for you guys to check out.
Hey, it's me. I forgot to mention that I actually bought the Split Pad Compact myself. Nobody sent that to me for review or anything. I bought those with my own money. As for the next three products, those were sent to me in the past, two of which I've already covered. There's one in here that I'm covering for the first time that was also sent to me for review. So it's full disclosure, it doesn't change my opinion on any of these. Just putting that out there because it's like the law or whatever. Anyway, back with the video.
Staying within that realm of Joy-Con alternatives, we do have the Nixie Joypad Pros, as they used to be called. I believe these are actually called the Athenas now, and these are actually the same price as the Split Pad Pros. I've covered these in the past, so I won't go on too much about them. They're bigger and bulkier than the Split Pad Pros, so if you have small hands, I recommend probably checking those out, but these also have more features. These also have a turbo mode, and they also have a macro button in the back, but these have rumble built in, but it's kind of like a super strong, almost comical amount of rumble. It's super loud and distracting, so that's something to keep in mind. These do have motion controls that work really well, and they're very reliable as well. I still use these to this day, even though I covered these a long time ago. That's not something I can say often about some of the products I cover. They also have a ring of RGB around the control stick, which, as we all know, automatically makes you about 10% better at whatever game you're playing. I have the black ones here, and since I've covered these, they also released a white version, and there's a few other controllers that they released since then that look similar, but are under different names, different color schemes, and other differences. I'm not really sure what the differences are, but you can check those out if you want. And now also from Nixie we have this. This is the Nixie Chaos Controller. Not to be confused with
Chaos Control!
This is a little bit cheaper than the Joypads at $45.99, at least as of this recording. A lot of similar features to the Joypad. It has an RGB ring around the thumbstick, turbo mode, assignable buttons on the back, but this time you actually have 4 buttons instead of just 2, so you've got 2 for each side. You can assign the face buttons, D-pad, shoulder, and trigger buttons, or the clicks of the thumbsticks as well. The grips are rubberized, so it's not super slippery. It's actually pretty comfortable to hold. It feels very similar to an Xbox controller. It has a little bit more weight to it, a little bit more heft, and it feels just a little bit more premium than something like these Joypads do. These still feel fine, but this just feels a little bit better, a little bit of a next step in the right direction, which makes sense because this is newer than the Joypads. This also has full motion control, which works pretty well actually, and it also has rumble. No HD rumble for any of these, by the way. At least the rumble on here is not as violent as it is on the Joypads. Next, we're going to remove all of the electronic components out of all of that. We're going to talk about a grip. say you like the Joy-Cons that are included with the Switch, but you just want a little bit of extra comfort, well, thankfully, Skull & Co. has the Neo Grip. I have covered this one in the past as well, and it's still my favorite grip. I still use it to this day. It's $19.99 for the grip itself, or $39.99 for the grip and the travel case. I definitely recommend picking up that travel case if you've got the extra money. Travel case or not, the Neo Grip is going to come with 3 different grip sizes for each side to choose from, and you can mix and match as you want for whatever game you're playing, whatever level of comfort you need. It's actually really nice to have a lot of options for only 20 bucks. It's still my favorite grip to this day, and it's the most comfortable one for me, even more comfortable than something like the Satisfy grip or the old Skull & Co. grip case that I used to use on the original Switch. My wife even wanted one when I reviewed this one, so she has one too, because it's just that good. I'm going to have an affiliate link in the description from Skull & Co. so you can buy direct from them, and I'm going to be perfectly honest, I'm like $9 away from the threshold to withdraw my earnings from this last video I did on this, so if you want to help a bro out, just use that link. And last but most certainly not least, my favorite Switch accessory is the Switch Pro Controller, the official Pro Controller. To this day, it is still the most comfortable of all of the controllers that I've ever used. I think it's my favorite controller of all, at least as far as comfort goes, size, and everything. And as you can see, it's a little bit different. I have this one modded with a purple shell that I got from Extreme Rate, I believe is what they were called. I actually bought this one on Amazon directly because they sent me one a long time ago and I meant to cover it, I just never got around to it. And it was pretty cool. It was themed after a Super Nintendo controller, which is why I have the Super Nintendo buttons here still. I really liked it, but I didn't realize that it was a matte rubberized coating, which I would not have taken if I had realized at the time. And it just started to collect dust and dirt and smudges, and I decided I wanted to change things up. So I picked this one up with my own money and decided to put it on the Pro Controller, and I haven't looked back. The only downside is it's a little slippery here since there's no rubber grips on the handles. I really like how it looks, and it just makes this Pro Controller pop. And of course the Pro Controller, I mean, I'm not going to go on about it. It's $70, it's official, it's from Nintendo, it's got everything that you would need because it is from Nintendo. It feels like it was made for the Switch because it was. I mean, technically everything here was, but this was like made for the Switch. You get what I'm saying. If you do want to check out the Pro Controller or just the Extreme Rate shells that you can swap out, process is pretty easy. I'm not going to do a tutorial, but I will have it linked in the description as well. Honestly, I've tried so many good Switch accessories that I could go on about these forever, but my throat hurts, it's been a long day, and I'm ready to go, as I'm sure you are as well. Again, I'm going to have affiliate links for all of these products in the description. If you want to help a guy out, then that would be awesome. Thank you very much. Happy holidays. But maybe you don't want a Nintendo Switch accessory. You want something for your PS5. Well, I've got a couple of videos here you can check out if you want to and relate to PS5 goodness. And it will be greatly appreciated if you could check those out. Make sure to like this video, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend about all these cool products, tell a friend about this video, and leave a comment and tell me what you think about anything at all. Just keep it civil. I'm out of here.